last time we talked about the Seahawks, they were about to play the Green Bay Packers. That game didn't go very well for them. They finished the regular season 11-5-1. The Seahawks did. In their final 7 games of the regular season, however, the team was 4-3. The team got the 3rd seed in the NFC playoffs and played the Detroit Lions. So, DJ, I'll ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, what was your confidence level in this team entering the playoffs and why?
Well, for the first game, I wasn't too worried. Home game, night. It would be a cakewalk for the Hawks to win. But after that, I was like a 5 or 6 just because of the lack of offense and how poorly the Seahawks have built their offense, especially not paying any attention up front. And when you have the lowest paid offensive line in football, you're not going to be able to do much, and that's why Russell's been beat up this year. That's why we haven't been able to run the ball. And especially with the loss of Earl Thomas on defense, they're suspect at best, I believe. They're good enough, but they're not good enough to carry a poor offense. But now I'm at about a 7 or an 8 after seeing Rawls run that way on Saturday night. I think he had 160 yards, which was a Seahawks playoff franchise record.
It was beast mode-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if he can keep doing that, he could be the guy to carry the Hawks all the way to the Super Bowl. Because, like I said, with him in there running like he is, that boosts the offense up that much, and the defense can be good enough to get us all the way to the Super Bowl. Maybe not win, but get us there.
So like you mentioned, DJ, the Seahawks won their first-round playoff matchup against the Lions. Its final score was 26-6. The game went how a lot of football pundits thought it would. A lot of people were expecting the Seahawks to just kind of walk past the Lions, and that's what they did. Lacey, I'll ask you, what did you expect from the game? Did you expect it to go that way? Did you expect it to be closer? What were your thoughts on it?
Honestly, I didn't know what to expect heading into this game. We've been commentating on the Seahawks for their whole season, and we know how frustrating it's been seeing them be a little streaky throughout their season. You don't really know what day they're going to bring it and what day it's going to be like, shoot, we should have had that one. And especially DJ kind of hit on the injuries with Earl Thomas and recently Tyler Lockett being out, and that definitely affects the team, some of those big-time players on offense and defense. But at the end of the day, the Seahawks pulled it together and pulled out a great team win. It's the playoffs, and every team is good in the playoffs, and it's only going to get tougher from here. So they just got to keep that mental focus and keep moving.
So we've already hit on the Earl Thomas injury. Drew, in the games that Earl Thomas missed, this team was ranked 30th in pass defense.
Yeah.
Entering the game, Detroit was the 11th best passing offense in the regular season. How'd the Hawks keep him in check?
Matthew Stafford was hurt. That's how the Hawks kept them in check. Matthew Stafford did not have a middle finger. I don't know if anyone saw, but a middle finger on his throwing hand was in a splint, and kind of a funky glove job, and it was really weird. And to throw the ball up here in the wet, in the cold, at night, and now operating in front of the crowd at the Clink, like, there's no way.
They had monitors for earthquake.
There's just no way. And Earl Thomas is the motor that makes the Hawks go. But if you can get the offense in really, really bad situations, like with a banged up quarterback and not a lot of help on the outside, it's not. I don't know if it's the Hawks defense. I think it was just Matthew Stafford's banged up, and I'm scared to bet against Matt Ryan, who's playing like an MVP. That's where I'm like, let's hold on here. Let's see how good the Seahawks defense is against an MVP caliber offense that they're about to come up against. And also, the time of possession was like 36 minutes by the Hawks, 22 minutes by the Lions. Running the ball, Thomas Rawls kept the ball out of the hands of Matt Stafford. That helps too.
Yep,
For sure.
I love that time of possession stat. Good stuff, Drew. All right, DJ, you catch passes for the POU football team sometimes. Sometimes you block. How about some of the catches Paul Richardson had made? Where has he been all season?
Lord.
Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, well, I think it's about 80-20 for me, passing and catching, but that'll change. But that was big time of him stepping up, and like I said, that's one of the reasons my confidence has grown with this team. If we can have guys like Richardson, Curse, even like Tanner McAvoy, like step up, that's going to make this offense better. And We really need that in order to beat the Falcons this weekend and maybe even beat a really hot Green Bay team or a Dallas team that has just been dominant.
That's not going to happen. This is not going to happen.
Especially because
you keep hoping that ain't going to happen.
It would be at CenturyLink. It would be at CenturyLink, not Green Bay.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Aaron Rodgers has thrown like 18, 19 touchdowns and zero picks
interceptions
in the last 7 games.
A lot of Hail
He said
Marys,
they were
too.
going to run the table.
Yeah.
Looks like they are.
Yeah. The Hawks actually open up as a 3.5 point favorite over the Falcons this weekend, which is interesting, I think.
I always bring out the spread. The new guy in here coming in hot.
Stealing your stat.
I love it.
All right, let's get back on track here. The Seahawks were the 25th best rushing team in the NFL during the regular season. We've already mentioned Thomas Rawls a couple times. Lacey, how was he able to do it on Saturday night?
Well, I'm going to mention him again. He was the key to that rushing offense. And like Drew said, Thomas Rawls went beast mode for the Seahawks. He had 27 carries for 161 yards and 1 touchdown. And I think if we can see this type of rushing offense from the Hawks more often throughout this postseason, they're going to be hard to stop on offense to add that extra threat with the rushing.
I agree with that.